guess for both of you, what was it like that moment when you finally see Liberty pop up on the screen on the selection show Sunday night and against Texas A&M or in the regional?
First.
I think it was definitely a shock at first, but at the same time, we have to beat them eventually, so we're ready to go. That's what I would say.
I agree. I think we were a little shocked just because we didn't expect to see our name so soon, but we had a night to process it, and then I know at practice the next day they're already preparing to face them and face Marist State, so I think we're going to be really well ready to go.
Coach mentioned it was the shortest watch party in history, and then y'all kind of got locked in. Y'all talked about it and kind of got focused. What were those moments like? Where do you kind of diagnosing? Is it just a challenge at Texas A&M, or is it just kind of being back at the tournament where in your case you were here last year and you were on the brink of getting the super regionals?
I think it was just the shock that it was the 1 seed, and I think that can seem really scary, especially to people who have never been in a regional, like the younger girls like Danner Allen and Lexis and stuff. But I think that once Coach talked to us and Coach Fagan and Sammy, and they encouraged us, that we all felt a lot better.
So you mentioned the shock of it being the number 1 overall seed. For experienced players, last year, Georgia, UCLA in previous years, you guys have been to a number of these larger sites. How much has that prepared you to go against now the number 1 overall seed?
I think the game that actually prepared us the most was last year when we went to Oklahoma. There were thousands of screaming fans that were so loud that you couldn't even hear each other talking on the field. And I think that College Station is going to be a lot similar to that environment. So I think that game is what prepared us the most. And for the new girls, playing Alabama was also like a really loud and exciting and fast-paced experience. So I think that will help them prepare for this game also.
Does it feel like the game goes faster in an environment like that with your senses heightened and everything?
100%. It feels like you can't even think that it's just like one pitch after another. But Coach Sammy and Coach Fagan and Coach Dot, they all talk about making sure that we slow the game down and not let it get too fast and too out of control.
For both of you, and I guess Paige, you can start. You're both transfers coming in here. Did you choose to come to Liberty for moments like this, be able to play on a stage like in the regionals? Coach was talking about how it's been 5 straight regionals, and you've all had a lot of success at this level. Is this a reason why you'd want to transfer to Liberty to be in situations and moments like this?
I think absolutely. I mean, having that on their resume, and then also having coaches that have also been through it, like Coach Sammy and Coach Daw and Coach Fagan, who know how to already get the job done and to prepare us for those moments, was huge and very enticing as a transfer. And I think that obviously being champions for Christ, we have a bigger purpose, and so I think it makes those big moments even more special. Is yes, we're winning, yes, we have a good record, but we're doing it for a bigger purpose than what other teams are doing.
I think she just said that perfectly. We're playing for someone bigger than ourselves, so the moments they just mean so much more. And knowing that we talk about the Lord a lot, and that we get to I guess plant a seed for other athletes and other players. And I always see, especially young girls, being I'm so excited to see you express your faith, and especially after the baptism stuff, it just means so much more because there's not a lot of teams out there that are so open with what they believe.
Does that create more pressure to perform or less pressure?
Less pressure. Less pressure, because you know that softball's fun, but it's not everything, and it's not the ultimate goal and the ultimate reward. So,
Elena, for you, being in the circle, you had a really good week last week, haven't had a really good season, career as well too, but going against regional play, did the stakes get a little bit higher? Is there more pressure on yourself, or do you just try to block out the noise and focus on your task at hand in each pitch at a time?
honestly, I get really nervous before every game, so I don't think that last year with Georgia, it was my first ever regional, so I think I felt a little bit more pressure, but the third time we played Georgia, I actually played the best, and I think that because we had already done it 2 games prior to that, so I think that that's helped me prepare. I don't feel nervous to go into this regional. I feel more excited and ready to go.
Paige, similarly for you, I think it's your first regional.
It is.
Yeah. What about you? How do you try to prepare and try to be mentally focused and go into the game, kind of like you've done every other game prior to this weekend?
I think that at this time of the year and this where we're at in playoffs, that it's all going to come down to our preparation before. And I think that that's where your confidence comes from. And so, I mean, I feel confident that our whole team is prepared for this. And so it's going to come down to our preparation. So I think we're ready to go just based on that.
Okay, just the program that's had a lot of moments in the last few years. You come in as a transfer, you get the walk-off to send them to Conference USA Championship, so that's kind of your moment. What are you going to remember about that night, that game specifically, as long as you kind of play softball?
I just remember that it was literally the bottom of the 7th inning, and from then till the bottom of the 10th inning, we came in and we said finish it every single time. So it was like we all knew and we all had the confidence in each other, and at that moment it was so special because we didn't care who got the job done. And so it was like leading up to those moments, it was like, okay, you didn't, so I am, and picking each other up one by one was, I don't know, that was just some team chemistry that I've never experienced before.
And what did you think of her pitching performance? I mean, in 20 hours, like 240 pitches, what was going on the offensive side, kind of talking about what you all saw in the circle?
Just having Elena's back the whole time, and she was shoving, she was mowing people down, and defensively, we were locked in. So it was just a matter of when our offense was gonna really make it happen for Elena.